Hey y'all, welcome back to Pure South Pastures. So glad you joined me today. So it's been kind of a wild week, and I just wanted to kind of share what we're doing in preparation for major storms we've already had starting Wednesday. This is Friday. Starting Wednesday, there was tornadic weather all around us, major thunderstorms, lots of rain. We got a break in rain today on Friday, but it's supposed to, the Weather Underground app all day long has said before midnight tonight, we're predicted to get 3.3 inches. From Wednesday until this morning, we had about 5.5 inches. You can see behind me, we back up, our property backs up to Wattensaw Bio, and it's up in the pasture, flooded. And so if we get another 3 inches tonight, they're calling for 3 and plus inches tomorrow. So all total, I mean, it's going to be somewhere, 10 inches or more in 4 days. So it's pretty extreme. Thank the Lord so far. There hasn't been any, sustained damage here. I know a lot of people, there were a couple of deadly tornadoes that came through Arkansas, certain parts of Arkansas, completely devastated some areas. And so up to now, we haven't had any of that. Thank the Lord, and we're just grateful for his protection. And so we're just dealing with a little bit of water. So I've kind of changed up what I'm doing with the animals just because of that. So we'll check that out. And I'm so glad you joined me today. So you can see the bio there completely out of its banks. It normally kind of makes a U right back here on the back of our property, and then it borders this side of our property back here, but it comes into our property right there. I don't know if you can see the fence line. Let me zoom in here. You see the tips of those fences. Those fence posts there, they're almost completely underwater, and those are normally outside the bio. There's a gate there. You can see that gate's underwater. So quite a bit of water here coming up into the pasture. And yeah, I expect if we get what they're saying we're going to get, I expect the bio to be completely, up here. Just a quick look at some nice clover and ryegrass. That's beautiful. Love seeing that this time of year. So cows are going to love that when we get to graze on that. Here's what I love. It's a legume, hairy vetch. Many of you probably know what that is or have that in your pastures as well. I love that stuff. So now I'm over on our leased property, which borders our farm. We leased this 20 acres. There's 9 acres in this field, 11 acres in this other field. And the first thing I did is I brought the cows from way back there where the bio has the tendency to flood, and there's a creek between us, so it could potentially get high enough where it was difficult for me to get back and forth to them. I was moving them back there on stockpile every day, and I've since moved them up here because I wanted them on higher ground, and I didn't want there to have the creek between us. So that's what we did, and I'm no longer rotating them really. I let them in this field. This goes all the way, sorry for spinning around too fast, but this goes all the way to the highway here, just in front of that house. And then I'll spin around a little bit slower here, and it goes all the way to this first tree line back here. So they were on here for a couple of days while it rained really hard. This is somewhat high ground. There's some low places in it, but it's pretty good. And so I just let them graze across it, hoping that they weren't going to, hurt the early season growth. It's obviously not. There's not a lot of growth on it. Get this gate here. But that being said, there's not a lot of great grass there. It's actually, I don't know where the cows are. Oh, here they are. It's actually pretty poor. It looks like it's coming on better this spring than it has in previous springs. So that's a great thing. Look here. Hi, buddy. What's up, my man? Huh? Hi, bud. That's Knox man. He's taking care of his sheep. He's up here ready for the storms. Here in just a little while, it's really supposed to come on. So I know he's kind of hunkering down up here by the barn. When the weather's bad like this, the sheep stay close to the barn. You can see they're shedding off their winter coat. It's everywhere. There's white stuff all over the pasture because they are shedding like crazy. They look terrible, as a matter of fact. Looks like there's a bunch of garbage up here. Needs to be picked up. Somebody's trash. I bet Knox drug up some trash. Got a ewe there with a little limp. I need to check her out. You can see they're starting to shed their hair coat, their winter coat, and that's a good thing because it is 80 something degrees. Look at them chewing on those limbs. Love that. Yeah, the sheep they're awesome. Got some of them on that side of the creek, some of them over here. They're going to town. So I made a pretty big boo-boo, and it's nobody's fault but mine. So I accept responsibility for it. It is what it is, right? But I had a ram that wasn't getting the job done, and so I didn't have any spring lambs. I didn't get another one in here. I talked to a guy about having one by December, and I just didn't. We just had a crazy busy spring, and my fault. I didn't make it happen. So he ended up selling that to somebody else, and so I've been looking at. I need to get a ram. If I can get a ram in here now, we'll have some fall lambs, which is be great. I wish we had spring lambs, but you know, make the best out of it. Have some fall lambs, and so having said that, I'm looking at a royal white. These are Dorper Katahdin crosses. The ewes are, and so looking at putting a royal white ram on these ewes. So we'll see how that goes. If that's what I do. Actually, it looks like I'm gonna have to drive a pretty good distance to get them, but I love them because they seem to be parasite resistant while also being able to put some frame on. And these are, you know, these ewes they're pretty nice, generally speaking. Some of them aren't that great, but generally speaking, they're pretty nice. And so I'd love to be able to put a little more frame on them, and at the same time, you know, not lose some of the ability to not constantly worm. We haven't wormed yet, but I'm not saying we're not going to. Just, you know, as needed. If somebody's in a bad spot, I can see this ewe up here. I know she's got, I saw her earlier limping. I'm gonna be watching her. She may need some treatment, obviously for her feet, but it may be more than that. She may be, the way she's laying down either means her feet hurt really bad or she's really tired. So we'll see. See if she's wormy. But they're shedding off. There's a hair all over the pasture. Everywhere there's a low limb, there are piles of hair because they're shedding it off, and I love that. See, look at this one right here. It's getting most of it off there, and she's gonna be slick as a button here before long. They're trying to figure out how they're gonna get across that water. About to get left behind because these are going across. Sheep do not like water. Knox don't want him to go without him going first. Look, he's trying to get there. I found that Knox really don't like water either. I mean, he lives like a wild dog, but I was out here working on fence one day. I was fixing this fence right here, and it started thundering and lightning, and it started sprinkling a little bit. And I looked over here, there was no water in this. It was the hot summertime. There was no water in this right here, and Knox was crawled up in that. That thing was wide open. Of course, there was no water. He was in that culvert right there, staying out of the rain. I thought, man, what a brave guard dog. Maybe we say he's smart. So the sheep really don't know what to think about the cows being in with them, but we're doing the old Greg Judy Flird thing here. Got the Flird going on, the flock and the herd. So We're gonna we got 2 more days actually. Tomorrow is the last day of this crazy significant rainfall or torrential downpours, flood warnings. So after that, we'll begin our grazing journey for the year. We're pretty much done with stockpile. That really had about 5 or 6 days left back there, but I don't know that I'm gonna, now that they're on the green, I don't know that I can get them back there eating that old dry dead stemmy stuff. So it's what they did all winter, and I'm proud of them for doing it. Not the sheep. The sheep have been on this 20 acres just kind of floating around for the winter time. But the cows absolutely did a great job on stockpile all winter long, and super, super proud of them. Seen a lot more cool season forages. Had very little of that, moving on to this farm, but rest, intensive grazing, putting a lot of pressure on it, for short bursts of time and then letting it rest. It's working, guys. It really is. Seeing a lot more legumes come up, both clover, white clover and hairy vetch. And man, just the grass, you can tell the quality of the cool season forages, which were almost non-existent. Lots of fescue coming up, lots of rye. I believe it's going to get better and better and better. That's what we're doing it for. I'm as excited about building soil as I am building a herd. I really am. Haha, the sheep are coming across that water. I hear them splashing. That's funny. They're not going to get left behind. You got that one with a hurt foot. It's kind of hanging up. I know you probably can't see it there. It dove in. I like watching them. Watching them jump across. Here they come. Yeah, this one here, struggling. Looks like it's that that left front foot. So I'm over here on the front field of this lease ground, right behind the landowner's house. And just looking at a few of these cows, some of them are heifers, and they're really looking like they may be calving soon. This girl right here, she's showing pretty good signs. This one right there, showing pretty good signs. Still interesting. Look, you got Corrientes over here. You got the South Pole Red Angus Devon herd over here. This is the original group that we had. We've added these this year, and they still kind of separate. Had 5 Corriente calves. I'll go over here and show those to you. A calf nursing. Hey, she's a good looking cow. Made it through the winter on stockpile. Very low quality forage. Only a few bales of hay when it snowed and iced. And look at her. That's what we want, man. One of the things I love about Corrientes is, I know all cattle do it, but they really go after the trees. They're gathering nutrients from the browse that they can get off these trees. It's beautiful. Hey, boy. What you say, man? He's a pretty little roan bull. I really like this little calf right here. That's its mama right there. That's the most recent one. I always said she kind of looked like a mule. Her face got kind of a mule face. This was the third born calf. Third calf we had born. But the Corrientes, they seem to be doing great. Everybody's excited that they're not clamped down, and that won't last long. But for 4 days, you can tell she went backwards a little bit this winter, but they're expected to. And now, come summer, looking forward to our South Pole bull breeding these and seeing what we get out of them. Another Corriente there. This water's flowing. I love that. Hey, it was dry. We had burn bans. I had a little fire in my yard before the burn bans. I had a little fire in my yard. A wind caught it and it got a little hairy. I was a little nervous. So for the last few weeks, we've been without rain, last several weeks. So it's been really dry and getting that, we've had 5 inches, which is a lot to take in at once. That's why you want to develop your soil to be able to infiltrate water. And we're just not there yet. But one thing I love about this, if you look at it, this water is not running off a lot of silt. So it's a pretty clear water, which is, that's what you want. It's beautiful. So you're not losing, I mean, you're losing some soil, but you're not losing a lot. It's not just washing the dirt down the river. So even though that's a dingy color, it's still fairly clear. This old cow here is one of my favorites as far as the Corrientes, but she really lost nursing a calf this winter. That's another thing, these cows have been nursing calves since January, and on low quality forage, and they're ready for this green, man. A little short. I really don't like grazing like we're grazing. That's why I've opened it up so big, so that they don't just decimate any one area. But gave them 2 days on that other side and then 2 days on this 11 acres. And hopefully that'll just be I mean, obviously they'll hit some of it hard, but they'll just skim it over. And then with these warm temperatures and the rain, hopefully the grass will take off. All right. Hey, look at that. That's no protein supplement. Manure's looking better, getting better. Here's a couple little bull calves. I'm going to probably ban them pretty soon. I like to do it in the fall. They were too small then though. I like to do it in time when flies aren't so bad, but I might even spray some fly stuff around the ban. Just some topical stuff that I have. Good looking little calves though. Yeah, they got a little gut on them to have come through winter and yeah. Oh, butt heads, boys. All right, sun's going down. I really don't think there's anything prettier than the cattle and the sheep grazing together out here. It's just after we've been on stockpile all winter, it sure is nice to see them grazing. And it's not like us normally. We don't have them just wide open like this, just without any kind of containment. They're pretty much just free grazing this 11 acres, but trying to just weather some storms tonight. We'll see how it goes, and then we'll get back to grazing. So I appreciate you joining me today. Hopefully the wind hasn't been too bad. The wind is bad, but hopefully the little cover has helped the wind noise. But appreciate you watching. We're going to be making even more content. Actually, True Dave just sent a new shipment of boots and waders. So waders for beaver trapping, and I'll be going through those. Going to do an unboxing on the boots. Going to show you the waders, and we'll put those to work. I got a code where you can get a discount on those boots. I really like them so far, what I've seen. So I'll be putting that video out, and then we'll be back out here as we start the grazing season, rotating animals. And I appreciate you joining me. God bless you guys. We'll see you in the next one.